Hello,
Hello.
I'm Helen. He's still John.
I know, I'm not Helen today.
I think I'll be Helen.
Okay.
Anyway. You tell the people what we're doing today, because I can't remember.
I was going to say it's because you've forgotten, isn't it? This is our February VANOTHER blog. This month's topic is best or worst journeys, and we've decided to do one of our best. We've had a lot of really good ones, to be fair. We're going to talk about our trip to Scotland in
But before we do,
2021. Oh yes, our super new tripod. It's up there.
You can't see it because it's holding the camera.
It is, and I'm controlling it from here. But anyway, this has been a life changer for us. It's really good. And we'll put a link somewhere up there or over there or over there or down there. Don't know. We'll put a link somewhere to the review we did on it because this thing is awesome. Anyhow, back to the subject, talking about our trip to Scotland.
So we've got a book and we haven't got a lot of photos, but
We have got thousands of photos, you divvy.
we've got a book, but we haven't got much video.
We took thousands and thousands of photos. It's a big, thick book, and it is full of photographs.
We won't make you look at them all.
No, but we're gonna flick through it. It'll remind us what we were doing. You'll see the photos pop up somewhere around there. Will be the route that we did.
I was going to say, put the route up now. That's sad.
So there's the route, and we started off. The whole idea was to do the North Coast 500, and then we thought that's a bit boring because everybody does the North Coast 500. So
Well, everybody did it in 2021, that's definite.
well, yeah, as the world and his wife were coming out of COVID. So we decided that we were just going to make a big tour of Britain out of it, basically go and see some friends, drop the car off for some work. It had some shock absorbers done, which was a little bit unplanned, but there you go. We dropped the car off halfway and then carried on with the van. So we went up the east coast. Before that, so we dropped the car off in Norfolk and we went up the east coast of England.
We did.
We went and had some work done on our van by the man that made it. We changed our vents from regular ones to max fans while we were there. Then we went off and did some stuff around the coastline. We went to Filey, which was really nice.
Filey was lovely, really nice beach, although I got told off having the dog on the beach.
Yeah, whatever.
We went to Yorkshire.
Then we went across the moors, past the Tan Hill pub.
That was lovely.
And
well,
then
not the pub, but Yorkshire was lovely.
Yeah. And then we went to Pulley Bridge by the lakes, which was ace.
I went swimming, the only one that dared.
Well, you're an idiot. It was freezing.
Someone dared me.
Blinking freezing.
It was great. No, it was really nice once you were in.
Yeah, stupid. Then we went up the west coast of Scotland. Through the borders, it rained muchly. Mm-hmm. We went past Glasgow, it rained muchly.
Yeah, we didn't stop.
We went up and we stopped at Loch Lomond and it rained muchly. Very, very muchly. And at this point we were with our friends from Norfolk who we'd gone to see to start with. We were in the van and they were in the tent and the car and they were quite upset at this point.
They went home.
They went.
It was too wet.
Actually, no, we didn't. We went to see the falls. Then we went to see where we thought Skyfall was and we saw the road, but then when we Googled it, the house is in Sussex. So you get to see the road, but not the house. Then we went up to Fort William. Yes.
That's when we went.
We climbed Ben Nevis.
We climbed to the top of Ben Nevis.
We did.
Pub.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't go to the top of the real Ben Nevis because it was really cloudy and you couldn't see anything.
So the toilets were upstairs, so we went to the
The waitress said, go upstairs. then you can tell everyone you've been to the top of Ben Nevis.
So we did.
We'll show you some pictures. We had a really good meal there.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at the picture here.
Yeah, it was yummy. It was like
that's
awesome
when our friends
pie.
left us.
Yeah, they went back down feeling very wet, and we went to Oban, then we crossed across to Mull, which is awesome. If you ever get a chance to go to the Isle of Mull,
Oh
it's
yeah, it was
utterly
beautiful.
beautiful.
And we went to Tobermory. Tobermory.
Whatever, something like that. Anyway, we went there, then we crossed back to the mainland on the west coast. We stayed overnight at some lock somewhere, which on the beach, which was absolutely gorgeous. Most of the stuff we did was wild camping. We did very
good
little.
In Scotland for wild camping.
Yeah, we did very little overnights in a few campsites. We did it a few times when things like the toilet were full, we needed water. A couple of days we had to work, so we needed electricity. We couldn't generate enough by the sun. So there were a few times we stopped in, but not many. Then we went to the Isle of Skye, magnificent waterfalls, a friend's pottery, Edinbane Pottery. If you're ever in the Isle of Skye, go to Edinbane Pottery. Stuart, who runs it, is lovely. They're a really lovely family. Pottery is amazing. It's eye-wateringly expensive,
but it's good.
Every time Helen gets out a £35 mug for a cup of tea, it reminds me. We came back over the road bridge.
Oh.
And then we did a couple
we
did a couple of nights in a campsite in the Kyle of Lochaush, and then we went to Shieldag. And at that point, after all of this, in about 2 weeks, we'd finally made it onto the start of the NC 500. And from that point on, we did the same as everybody else. We followed the NC 500 all the way round across the top. The beaches on the top of Scotland, oh my God, they are amazing.
But although the World and his wife were doing it that year, the roads were still fairly empty. There was like little bottlenecks, but on the whole, the roads were fairly empty. I was quite stunned at the scenery, which was stunning.
It is amazing.
But I was surprised at the fact that nearly all the roads were single width.
Oh yeah,
there's
about 3 dual carriageways in the entirety of Scotland.
I was really surprised, but there wasn't much traffic there, so it kind of explains it.
Yeah, there was one traffic jam that we had where some idiot...
Oh, some parts said, if you've got a big camper van...
do not go down this road, and he did.
Do not go down this road, and he did, and he fell off.
And he fell off the road. There'll be a picture coming up any moment. He fell off the road. We tried to pull him out because we've got a very powerful van. Not a chance.
No.
We tried pulling him out with another car pulling us. Not a chance. So we managed to...
I think the only reason he wasn't on his side was there was a tree holding him up.
Yeah, there was literally a tree, and he's in a rented campervan as well, obviously. We managed to go past, and literally, as Helen was looking out the passenger window, 2/3 of our wheel was actually off the road, hanging over.
We nearly fell the other way.
So it was,
so frightening.
It was properly scary, that bit. So then we went to Knocken Crag, which we learned stuff there. We stayed in the visitors' car park overnight, which is, again, it's Scotland, so it's perfectly acceptable.
Oh, you have to put that photo in.
Oh yeah, the fly hat, mozzie hats.
But Midge nets on your head.
We learned stuff about how the plates move around, and actually the oldest rock is at the top and not the bottom, because it's jumped over each other somehow as the tectonic plates moved.
But the people that did this sort of research were from there, and that's how.
And that's where it is. And those rocks at that point were how they worked it all out. To be fair, it's still a bit black magic to me, but it was properly interesting. After that, usual thing, across the top of Scotland, finished off, beautiful beaches, few amazing locks, lots and lots of blue sky. We really did have good weather. So we got to Thurso. The weather wasn't brilliant. We weren't really sure what to do. It wasn't raining and terrible.
Thurso was a bit boring.
It was just grey and boring.
I think because we'd had such spectacular scenery going up the west coast, we were a bit disappointed by the time we got there. If we'd gone the other way round, it would have been fine, but it was just a town.
It was, and so we went and looked on the map and said, let's go to Orkney. We drove to Scrabster, which is a couple of miles outside Thurso, got on a boat and went to Orkney. We got there and it was pitch black and torrential rain.
Yes.
We couldn't see 20 feet in front of us. It was wicked.
John had chosen, was it a park for night?
Oh, I don't know. We'd found something somewhere that was on the west coast.
So we drove there in this pitch black, in the rain, having no idea. We parked up. We let the dog out for a wee and we just basically shut everything down because we thought we might end up floating away.
And went to sleep for the night.
In the morning...
Oh my God, in the morning, amazing.
It was stunning.
The beach was amazing. It was utterly beautiful. Probably one of the best beaches I've ever been to.
Beautiful.
And the only thing that beat it was later that day. We carried on up towards the top of the Orkneys.
Yeah.
And we went to a place, it'll be in the book somewhere, Bursay. Bursay, that's it. And the whole point of Bursay was there was a little island off there that you could walk to at low tide. God, that water was cold. You could walk to at low tide and then it had
a lighthouse on it and some sheep, but it was just an island. Yeah, to the island.
And it was an old Viking town as well.
And
all
had
of
all
that.
those remains.
So we went and walked around there and it was lovely and it was a beautiful walk. The dog enjoyed the paddle. The water was
clear.
Crystal clear and freezing cold. And as we got back from the island, somebody said, there's orcas and you need to wander up to the top and Steve will show you where they are.
Yeah.
And so we wandered up to the top and said, are you Steve? He said, yes. And I said, where's the orcas? And he's like, they're over there. And there was a pod of orcas coming through the channel. Utterly amazing, and we could see them from, they were so close, you could see them just surfacing as they do.
I mean, unfortunately, they were just that bit far away to take a decent photo. You've got photos with like little bits of them. But
you can only get so much of an orca. But yeah, it was quite impressive. Never seen orcas before. If I'm honest, probably won't again unless it's in a zoo or something like that.
But Orkney was lovely. We loved Orkney.
Yeah, Orkney was really great. After that, we went across past the Ring of Brodgar because you have to. It's kind of law. We went down to Scapa Flow via Churchill's barriers.
Went and had a look around there.
We spent the night on Scapa Beach and then the following morning.
Oh yeah, we were on. It was like the beach was here. And the road was here and there was a bank and everyone was parked at the top of this bank. So it was like just having your own private beach and viewing.
It was. I mean, we were under a foot from the beach. So yeah, we then got the fast ferry back. We went to Dunnet Head. That's what we say, Dunnet. So we've been to Dunnet Head. Then we went to John O'Groats, did the obligatory picture by the signpost. And then
you didn't even get out the camper van.
It was cold. It's like, you want a picture, you're on your own.
Heaving.
So we've got a picture of Helen, like that. And then we basically went straight down south to Inverness. We went through Wick, and that was it. Straight to Inverness, and that was another couple of nights on a campsite outside Inverness.
Yeah, do the
washing,
lovely, have
nice.
A shower, all your usual campervan stuff.
A couple of days of work, get those in. Went into Inverness, lovely. Went to visit a friend who lives there. Had a nice day. And then we went up to just north of Inverness to see the dolphins at Channery Point.
Yeah, but they've gone home.
It was blowing a hoolie. The water was trying to jump out of the sea onto the land. The dolphins, if they got any sense, were about 800 metres below the water. That didn't work out, so we just carried on. And we went down to Pitlochry.
Now, we went to Pitlochry because I was convinced that my mum and dad had been there and told me how wonderful it was and about the dam that's there and there's a salmon leap and that it's a beautiful
It's a fish ladder.
Fish ladder.
That's what it's called.
And so we went there and we loved Pitlochry. Really, really liked Pitlochry. Went for an amazing meal. It's a really pretty town.
The best Indian I've ever had. We had in Pitlochry. It was stunning. Really good.
Said to my mum, we went to Pitlochry like you and Dad did. And she went, I've never been there. So I don't know who told me about it.
I have no idea how Helen found out about it, but glad she did.
But it was worth it.
And one of the great things about Pitlochry is when someone says, I've never seen a fish riding a bicycle, you can say, no, but I have seen him climb a ladder.
from Pitlochry, we went to the Falkland Wheel.
No, we didn't. We went to the Falkirk Wheel.
So tell me what the Falkirk Wheel is.
Lifts boats from here to there.
It's a big thing that does this with canal boats on it.
It's a boat lift.
So there's a
Very
canal
clever.
down here and there's a canal down there. And if you've got your boat down here and you want to get up here, instead of having locks, because there wasn't space for the amount of locks they needed, they've built this wheel and it does this, but it's all done by water and
gravity, basically.
Gravity, and it's really clever.
Because it uses gravity and water, one rotation of the wheel, so a boat up to the top and then back down again, uses the same amount of energy as it takes to boil your kettle. That's genuinely impressive.
Genuinely impressive.
We stayed there overnight.
Stayed the night.
You can wild camp in the car park.
They light it
They
up.
light it all up at night. Oh, it's stunning. It's lovely. But in the morning, you can go down, and because it's a canal, you can get the key, and they've got washing machines, showers, everything else. You can get a shower in the morning as well. And it costs a princely sum of £3.
Is that all it was?
It was £3.
Wow.
Really impressive.
And then from there we went to see
Kelpies,
the Kelpies.
which I think are some kind of mythical horse, but
They
they're just...
are a mythical horse.
Yeah, but I don't know the story
They're
behind them.
shape-shifting.
Yeah, so there they go. They're shape-shifting. But they're pretty awesome statues.
And we'll put some pictures in because they are. And again, we could have gone and we could have camped there if we'd wanted to, but it was just down the road from where we'd been. So we went there during the day and then went on to our next stop.
And then we went to Dunbar. So through Edinburgh, over the bridges, over to Dunbar.
Dunbar's great.
For the pure reason that it's got a bridge that goes nowhere. And as the tide comes in, the bridge gets cut off. So you don't want to be on the wrong side of it.
No,
when the
but
tide
it's
comes in.
beautiful,
It's lovely.
sandy beach.
Wild camp there again, right on
Yeah.
the beach. We went to the pub around the corner, no idea what it was called. Had a meal, it was lovely.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. And then we headed out of Scotland, and that was the end of our Scottish tour, or so we thought. We went down to Lindisfarne, Holy Island, which is rubbish and overpriced and boring. So if you're thinking about going there, save your money, look at it on Google, and then go somewhere else.
Although I've got a friend that went and stayed overnight and said it was brilliant because once the tourists had gone, it was really good. So
fair enough. But you can't stay overnight with Campervan.
No.
You've got to book into a hotel or a guest house. So save your money, go somewhere else. After that, we went past Bamburgh Castle, I seem to remember. And then we went down to a new campsite that this lad was building. And it was called Coast and Castles Campsite in Loughton or Long Loughton or something like that. It was really cool. So he'd bought some land from the MOD. And it had all the roads. They'd taken all the buildings down from this old airbase, but it had all the roads still. So he was using the roads to get around the campsite and putting in pitches and electric and just building it as he was going along. And it wasn't expensive. He had a little bar that was selling bar stuff, beer and snacks and things
hopefully
like that.
they're still there. They were kind of building it up and stuff.
It literally just started after COVID. So hopefully it's still there because that was really cool.
Then we went to Cragside.
If you want to know about electricity and especially hydroelectricity, Cragside is the place to go.
And it's pretty.
It's pretty. It shows you what you can do when you build guns and kill people, because that's where he made all his money from,
is it?
armaments.
Oh, okay. Then there's not much guns and killing people at Cragside.
No, there are not. But it was the first house in Britain to have electricity installed in it, the first private house. It was, everything was electric. It was hydroelectric powered from their own lakes. Really, it's
really interesting place.
Incredible. Well worth going to see.
Yeah, definitely.
At that point, we found out Northumberland and probably everywhere in the UK is really difficult to find a campsite.
And there's no wild camping.
You can't legally wild camp. So we went to Kielder and did a pub stop. I'm not going to name the pub, but it was like something out of the Brothers Grimsby. It was just awful.
It was not good.
It was utterly awful. But 10 quid to stay the night with power. It was fine. It was about the only place in Kielder we could stay. The weather was rotten. And we couldn't find anywhere to stay at all. So we went back to Scotland. So our trip to Scotland wasn't finished. We turned right and we went back to Scotland.
Went to Newcastleton.
Great meal there as well. We found this lovely little restaurant.
It was a
Massive
meal.
Sunday lunch.
Sunday lunch.
Just enormous. Pigeon and it just went on.
No, it was lovely.
Neither of us could eat it all. It was utterly huge and utterly lovely. And we stayed in the forest there and it was lovely. That was it. That was more or less the end of it. We were starting to head back. We went past Hadrian's Wall.
I went walking.
And basically...
Got chased by cows.
Yeah. And basically the rest of it was just pretty much straight down south. We stopped in Nottingham to see the kids because they were in Nottingham and Leeds. So we stayed overnight at a pub there, saw the kids, went back to Norfolk, loaded the car into the trailer, picked the trailer up and headed down to Southampton. And from that, then across the water and back to France. So that is our best trip. We absolutely loved it. It took us...
I'd go again.
Yeah, it took us 5 or 6 weeks, I think, to go all the way around. We weren't in a rush.
Yeah.
You could do it quickly, but you'd miss out on a lot of stuff. Yeah, it was great. So that's our best trip. It was a trip to Scotland. It wasn't the North Coast 500. We did bits of it, but let's say we were inspired by the NC 500.
So we hope we haven't bored you. If you've enjoyed it, give us a like, give us a subscribe, leave us a comment.
Tell us what you'd think. Would you go to Scotland? Is it somewhere you think you'd want to go? Have you been there? What did you think about it? Did you wild camp?
What were your best bits? Because I'd really like to go again. So if you've got hints and tips for the best bits that you went to, they might be different to where we went, and maybe we should put them on our list for next time.
Absolutely. And the one thing we'll say is we are definitely going back.
Yeah. That's about it.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching. Take care and watch everybody else's videos too. Bye-bye.